Wake -11 at Syracuse. Wake coming off a big win, aided by 3 interceptions by a walk-on freshman, Nick Anderson. So great job, Nick Anderson there. Go with the mojo. Go Wake Forest to cover -11 to cover that.
Yeah, I took Wake Forest as well. I just think people are going to overreact a little to Syracuse playing Clemson closer than everybody thought. Syracuse has killed me in all but one game against the spread this whole year. Wake Forest has bitten me in a big, big way every time I pick against them. So I'm going with them, and they better not disappoint me this time.
Literally, I have a dartboard up here, and then beforehand, I just threw a dart and landed on Wake Forest. Here goes nothing. I'm picking Wake Forest.
Next up, Notre Dame -19.5 at Georgia Tech, 99%. Now, you remember 99% last week with Miami, and they lost it for us. After destroying Pittsburgh, you got to feel good about Notre Dame. If BC can beat Georgia Tech by 21, come on, Notre Dame. You got to beat Georgia Tech by 19.5. Give me Notre Dame.
This is a really interesting pick, and I can almost tell you that I am going to regret this up front, but I actually have Georgia Tech covering the points here. And I believe you said 19.5, Morgan, is that correct?
19.5.
19.5. All right, so I'm going to go with Georgia Tech here. They're the home team. It's a big game for them, and I like their quarterback. I like Sims, a little much better than Pittsburgh's backup QB is trash, by the way. Okay. He was absolute garbage in that game on Saturday. I'm not going to say he's trash, in general, but he was on Saturday. It was terrible. Okay. It was an awful performance. GT is going to be able to do better than that. If they cannot turn the ball over, that is going to be the key. Can they not turn it over at home? Notre Dame, I think, is going to get caught looking ahead to the Clemson game in 2 weeks. And I'm going to take GT to cover the spread here.
I was so close. I was gonna just come in, and now I can't. I feel like I can't pick that game. So I'm gonna say Georgia Tech for 3 quarters is going to be within a score. They fall apart. Wheels fall off the wagon. Turnover central. Phillip Sims throws a bunch of interceptions. Notre Dame covers in the 4th quarter. Give me Notre Dame in the points.
Virginia Tech -3 at Louisville. I was surprised at how close this one is. To me, when you get -3, it's more of a who's the better team at that case. I think Virginia Tech has still got to be the better team. Hey, 3 turnovers to 1 guy in Wake Forest. That's not going to happen 2 times in 20 years or in 100 years. 3 turnovers to the exact same person. Get Tim Beret on the phone. How many times has the same person had 3 interceptions? I don't know. That can't be that many, especially a true freshman. So Virginia Tech was one of those teams, just like a Louisville, who they're playing, who had more yards, had more first downs, had longer time of possession, and still lost to Wake. So Virginia Tech is one of those teams who could do it again and lose to Louisville, but Louisville already knows that game and can do it even better than Virginia Tech. So give me Virginia Tech to cover -3. Louisville may very well have every stat beaten and still lose by 7.
Yeah, I like, me and Morgan like to talk about the low point home dogs. Okay, and that's what Louisville is this week at +3. And look, Virginia Tech, I don't think is a great football team. I don't think they're as good as we thought they were going to be going in. And they just got beat in a bad way. They made us all look bad against the spread, for sure. And Louisville, found some offense. I get it. Okay, I understand who they were playing. I get the competition, but they really found some offense, and I'm hoping for that to continue at home this week. I am taking Louisville +3.
The best thing to happen to Louisville was losing 12-7. It inspired their defense to play, and they came to play last week against Florida State. Their offense came back to play. Right now, Virginia Tech is on the snide. I'm not sure about Khalil Herbert. Give me Louisville on the points. Chuck it up to the card.
Okay. We'll see. That's a lone wolfer for me. I love my lone wolf picks. Next up, Charlotte at Duke. Duke -10.5. Both teams can put up points. Chase Bryce, 11 interception year, fellas. Not so good on the stat sheet there. Give me the 49ers plus the points. Duke is 116th in second half points allowed in the nation. Charlotte is 22nd in the nation in second half points scored. Guess who's 21st? Your Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, look, I'm taking Charlotte with the points as well in this one. I think Charlotte can score. Like Morgan was saying, I think they can score. I think Charlotte anytime you play a Power Five program, they're really looking to make a statement game. Okay, Charlotte 49ers is not somebody you usually think of when you think of a good football program for the most part, and I think they're going to be able to do this. I think they're going to be able. Duke has let me down all year, which is what Duke does, and I think Duke also gets caught looking ahead to their game with North Carolina the following week. I'm taking the 49ers too.
I just have to put on a brave face and hope that I don't get hurt again. I can't quit you, Duke. I can't quit you, Chase Bryce. I know that you're probably going to fail me again, but I'm going to just roll it out there and say Duke covers. Chase Bryce knows his opponent played Charlotte last year for the majority of the game. Give me Duke plus the points.
Going back to what we talked about, the previous game, Wake Forest at Syracuse. Chat saying it's a trap game. Avoid it. Also, chat saying Chase Bryce doesn't have a D1 receiver anywhere within 500 miles of Raleigh, so stay away from there, or Durham there, so stay away from there. All right, last game is UNC minus 6.5 at Virginia. I didn't take UNC last week, and it burned me against my Wolfpack. Wolfpack, you're done. Your streak is over. I'm no longer with you. The force is outside of Raleigh. The Virginia Cavaliers have the worst fourth quarter defense in the ACC. The Tar Heels have the best fourth quarter offense. You guys notice I found a new website with stats here. I found something new here. The Tar Heels have the best fourth quarter offense. Virginia has the worst fourth quarter defense. Even if it's close, you got to get like the odds in the fourth quarter points per game there. Give me the Tar Heels to cover 6.5.
Yeah, the Tar Heels were a team we were pretty high on, especially offensively going into the year. A lot of people had them winning the Coastal, and we had them. Most of us had them, one or two, I believe. And they stumbled once. They bit me one time against the spread, but most of the time I've rolled with them all season, and they've covered pretty well for me. I'm going with them again to cover.
Mortal lock of the week. Can't lose bet of the week. You're still in money from Vegas. UNC minus 6.5. Give me the Heels.
Can't miss pick of the week, lock of the week. And guess what? I wasn't going to talk about locks of the week because I said steal of the week last week was Miami against Virginia. This is the same opponent. I got to stay away from it. I don't want to say it, but you can say it, Houston. So good luck with that. Next up, the last 5 games. This is the final 5 games. Make sure you get in. Let us know what you think. James is in the chat, said he's going with you, Houston. Thank you. Also, here's the last 5. This was my pick, so you can blame it on me. Write me at morganidon'tcare.com. Games of the week. Georgia at Kentucky minus 14.5. The public is going 95% with Georgia right now. Georgia has a great rushing team, Georgia is one of the best run-stopping defenses in the country. Kentucky is one of the best rushing teams in the SEC. I have a feeling when you get rushing involved that it's going to be closer, and it is a home dog, a big home dog here. So give me Kentucky with the 14.5. I'll take it.
Hey, look, nothing would make me happier than for Kentucky not only to cover that spread, but to win that game. As you all know, my disdain for Georgia, and especially with recruiting implications that we seem to battle head to head with them a lot. But the fact of the matter is, their defense is nasty. Their run defense is incredible, and that's the only thing Kentucky can do. I think Georgia's going to be able to stop them. I will take the dogs to cover.
Kentucky has 0 offense. Georgia will play JT Daniels this week. If I could bet on that, I would. I'm going to say the dogs take it. Give me the dogs and the points.
Only reason why I'm really taking it is because it's a double-digit home dog, and I gotta think that will help somehow. So I do feel like statistically lining up, don't listen to me on that one. But really, I looked at my overall picks, and I was picking a lot of favorites this week, and that's the one I decided to go with. So, hey, I'm going to go with it. Kansas State at West Virginia minus 3. Kansas State is on a 4-game winning streak after losing to Arkansas State. They beat Texas Tech 31-21, who West Virginia just lost to 34-27. So give me Kansas State plus 3.
Yeah, this was an interesting line for sure. Kansas State has most definitely looked better than West Virginia this year. They both have pretty decent defenses, which is something we don't usually say about West Virginia in particular. They're kind of known for their offense. Kansas State has had a good defense in the past for sure. I feel like West Virginia. I feel like there's something fishy about this line. If I want to go with West Virginia because my gut says to go with Kansas State, and since it's worked, so well, knowing my record this year, I'll just go ahead and stick with my gut and say Kansas State plus the 3.5.
Guess who's number one in the Big 12? It's the K-State Wildcats. And if it wasn't for those stinking Red Wolves from Arkansas State, the K-State Wildcats might be heading to the playoff this year. K-State might be the dark horse to win that conference. Give me the Cats to win it.
There's another team out there that we're talking about coming up in the Big 12, but before we get to that, this one is one that we may not have normally had on our list, but because they've been doing so well, the second best team in South Carolina, Coastal Carolina, minus 3.5 at Georgia State. Georgia State can hang with Coastal, but their defense is giving up 39 points per game. Give me Coastal to stay undefeated and win by a touchdown or more. So the 3.5 is going to be easy for them. Give me Coastal.
Yeah, I don't see how you go against Coastal Carolina here. I mean, Coastal's been covering the spread. They've looked like a really good football team. And when you kind of go over these two teams' common opponents so far this year, Coastal's blown them out by a lot more than Georgia State has, I believe. So I'm going to take Coastal as well.
Shout out to Georgia State backup quarterback Michele Colasurdo, Chapman alum. My heart's with you, brother. But unfortunately, I got to go with the party mullets of Coastal Carolina. Give me the shots to cover.
The party mullets. I love it. Last two for the night, Texas at Oklahoma State. This is that Big 12 teams that we were talking about. Oklahoma State minus 3. You heard me right, minus 3. Oklahoma State is 3-1 against the spread. Texas 3-1. You got to think Sam Ehlinger is going to keep it close, but 3 points close, I don't know. I feel like Oklahoma State has a hot hand right now. Spencer Sanders is starting to get back in the offense, even though he's been out for a couple of games. Give me Oklahoma State to cover 3.
There's really no logic or reason behind what I'm about to say. There's just not. But Oklahoma State has not looked as great as I thought they were going to look so far this year. Texas has looked very average, very up, very down. But I'm taking Texas to pull the upset at Oklahoma State. So give me Texas plus the 3.
You cannot pick all favorite. You can't pick all favorites, so you got to go out on a limb on somebody.
That gummit, Al. You stole my thunder, man. I was like, I'm going to just jump in here and get it. Just has that feeling. Oklahoma State has not played up to their potential this year. Chuba Hubbard, we heard all this Heisman talk, gone. Spencer Sanders has not played well this year. And honestly, I don't think he's played as well as, Illingsworth is their quarterback. Illingsworth has played better. I like Texas in this game. I think the Big 12's championship hopes, playoff hopes go down the toilet after this game.
Ooh, ouch. Talking about the entire conference. You got to call the entire conference out like that? Really? I mean, come on. It's late at night here. Last game of the night. Thank you so much. Man, double digits still on YouTube. Really appreciate everybody getting in over there. Alan, when you dropped out of Facebook, man, everybody else dropped out of Facebook and jumped over on YouTube. So maybe you want to get over on YouTube if you're still on Facebook. I still see Mr. Kuhn over there getting in with his picks. We really appreciate you joining in as well too. I'm not ignoring them. I see them, but we're trying to run through them for sure. Really appreciate it. Ohio State minus 13 at Penn State. Penn State, you just can't go with Penn State after that game. They're losing. They lost to Indiana. They really didn't have a lead at all much in that game. And I got to say, Ohio State, if they're as good as everybody says they are going to be, or they are, you got to give me by 2 scores, no problem. This would probably be something if they had Micah Parsons, as we talked about last year, might be better. If they had a full stadium, might be a different story. But COVID era, Ohio State just seems to be better in general. Give me Ohio State to cover 13.
All right. Again, logic and reason thrown aside. Okay? Logic and reason thrown aside. If you really look at that game, first of all, Indiana's not a bad team that Penn State lost to. They had everybody return from a decent team last year, okay? And Penn State turned the ball over. They missed field goals. Okay. There was a lot of mistakes in there that Penn State can correct. Yes, I would feel more comfortable if their superstar Micah Parsons was in the game. But Ohio State has some issues on defense. I think Penn State should be able to score. They play close games. They're at home, Happy Valley, crazy. I understand it's going to be a COVID type atmosphere. Okay. It's not going to be the usual atmosphere, but I'm taking Penn State to cover the points here.
I wanted to. Now now I don't know. I feel like I might have to sway my pick, but this is my main point. I feel like Penn State was looking forward to this week. They had this circled on their calendars. Penn State was prepared for Ohio State and not Indiana. They come out inspired. They come out and play well. They still lose, but they don't lose by 13. Give me Penn State, but not winning the game.
Nice.
We
you
shall
have like
see.
5 lone wolves. This is crazy. You could have a great week. I mean, heck, you've been more right than us all year so far. So I hope this isn't the one that brings you back to our level.
I mean, you see these stats I'm throwing out. You guys are just talking about emotions here. I don't know what really, whatever.
Emotion has no business in football. Are we kidding?
Look, I mean, I just go based off of, this thing in my ear. I just call me Joe Biden. But I've got a bunch. I am seeing it. I've got Ohio State. I've got Oklahoma State. I've got Kentucky. I've got Virginia Tech. Alan, you've got Georgia Tech. And I've got Clemson. Man, I've got a ton of lone wolves. I mean, I didn't even bring the soundboard out because we were behind and because that would have been a lot of the same sound over and over. But I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the picks and some of our questions that we have in chat before we go. So Ohio State, we go by the line that we get. So people are saying the line's different. James, I'll tell you this. We go by the line that we get, kind of lunchtime on Monday. All right. So this is like a early bettors, lines for us. So it's a little bit different than if we were to wait. We know that's a negative for the show, but really, I mean, we're having relative success against it, early on. But I will tell you, so we got some questions in here saying, would you take Ohio State at -4? I mean, I'm taking them at -13. So yeah, that would be a question to you guys.
Absolutely, I'm taking Ohio State at 4.
Yeah, I would take them as well.
What about -6?
Yes.
I think I'd take them at -6. Yeah.
So,
I'd take Ohio State up to about 9.5.
But not 13. Not feeling 13, but feeling 9.5. Okay. All right.